Hey guys, tonight we're traveling back more than 3,000 years to the banks of the Nile, a land of towering pyramids, powerful pharaohs, and mysterious gods. Sounds magical. But if you actually woke up there tomorrow morning, chances are you wouldn't make it through the week. Before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe if you enjoy these relaxing history journeys. Now dim the lights, settle into bed, and let's drift back into ancient Egypt together. Congratulations! You've just opened your eyes in ancient Egypt. The year is roughly 1300 BC. The good news, you survived the night. The bad news, you're already sweating. The desert heat is beginning to rise, and your small mud brick house feels like an oven before breakfast. You sleep on a simple woven reed mat. No mattress, no pillows, no air conditioning, just hard ground beneath your aching body. Outside, roosters scream, donkeys bray, workers are already moving toward the fields. Ancient Egypt doesn't wait for anyone, not even you. Narration. Your stomach growls. Time for breakfast. Unfortunately, breakfast is not pancakes. It's not cereal. And it certainly isn't coffee. Instead, you're handed coarse bread made from emmer wheat. The bread is gritty. Tiny particles of stone from the grinding process have mixed into the dough. Over time, these tiny grains slowly wear down your teeth. You wash it down with weak beer. Yes, beer for breakfast. Again. Because the Nile water isn't always safe, and beer is often cleaner than drinking straight from the river. The sun climbs higher, and now it's time to work. There are no office chairs, no computers, no lunch breaks, only endless fields stretching toward the horizon. You spend hours planting grain beneath the blazing Egyptian sun. Sweat pours down your face. The air shimmers with heat. Your feet sink into wet mud along the Nile's edge. Mosquitoes buzz around your ears, and every movement feels heavier than the last. The Nile gives life, but it also hides death. Crocodiles glide silently through the water. Hippos lurk beneath the surface. To modernize, hippos seem harmless. In ancient Egypt, they are living tanks, aggressive, massive, and perfectly capable of turning a fishing trip into your final day on Earth. The sun is barely above the horizon, but your workday has already begun. There are no alarms, no calendars, no paid vacation days, only the rhythm of the Nile. As an ordinary Egyptian farmer, your entire existence depends on a river you cannot control. Every year, the Nile floods, and every year, your future hangs in the balance. Too much water, your crops drown. Too little, your family starves. You grip your simple wooden hoe and begin another day beneath the watchful eyes of the gods. The earth is soft beneath your feet. The air already feels heavy, and somewhere in the distance, a temple priest is thanking the gods for a harvest that hasn't happened yet. You hope he's right, because hope is cheaper than grain. As the morning progresses, the temperature climbs higher and higher and higher. There is no shade, no cold bottle of water waiting nearby, only an endless sky and a burning sun. Your tunic sticks to your skin, sweat drips into your eyes, your shoulders ache, your hands are covered in blisters, yet stopping isn't an option. The crops need planting, the weeds need removing, the irrigation channels need clearing. If the harvest fails, nobody comes to rescue you. There is no government assistance, no food bank, no emergency relief, just hunger, the kind of hunger that keeps entire villages awake at night. Despite its dangers, the Nile is your lifeline. Without it, ancient Egypt wouldn't exist. Every year, floodwaters spread rich black mud across the land. The Egyptians call this precious soil the gift of the Nile. After the flood retreats, it leaves behind nutrients that make farming possible. For a brief moment, the land becomes incredibly fertile. Farmers rush into the fields. Seeds are scattered. Oxen pull wooden plows through the moist earth. Everyone works quickly because the growing season waits for no one. The river gives life, but it never gives guarantees. Just when you think life couldn't become more stressful, they arrive. The tax collectors. Few people in ancient Egypt inspire less enthusiasm. Officials travel from village to village recording harvests, measuring grain, counting livestock, calculating exactly how much belongs to the pharaoh. And make no mistake, the pharaoh always gets his share. If your harvest is poor, taxes still come due. If a flood destroys your crops, taxes still come due. If locusts eat everything you own, taxes still come due. Excuses are not considered an agricultural strategy, and unpaid taxes often lead to punishment, sometimes severe punishment. Suddenly, the burning sun doesn't seem like the worst part of your day. Eventually, the work pauses, at least for a little while. Lunch is simple, very simple. A piece of bread, some onions, perhaps a few dates if you're fortunate, maybe a little fish caught from the Nile. That's it. No feast, no dessert, no luxury. You sit beneath a tree with fellow workers. Everyone is exhausted. Nobody talks much. The food disappears quickly because another long afternoon waits just beyond the horizon. Sometimes farming isn't your only responsibility. The pharaoh has projects, big projects, monuments, temples, massive stone structures designed to last forever, and somebody has to build them. That somebody is often you. For weeks or months, farmers leave their villages during flood season. They haul limestone blocks, dig foundations, transport supplies, and labor under strict supervision. The work is exhausting, but there is pride in it too, because these monuments are not merely buildings. They are gifts to the gods, symbols of power, and promises of immortality. Long after your name is forgotten, the stones may still remain. Finally, the sun begins to sink. The golden light softens. The air cools. Birds glide across the river. The fields fall quiet. You return home exhausted. Every muscle aches. Your feet feel heavy. Tomorrow will be exactly the same, and the day after that, and the day after that. Yet somehow, life continues. Families gather. Children laugh. Stories are shared beside small fires. For a few precious hours, the hardships of the day fade into the darkness, and under a sky filled with countless stars, ancient Egypt drifts peacefully into another night. But while you rest beside the Nile, another group of workers is preparing for something far more ambitious, something so enormous that people thousands of years in the future will still wonder how it was built. Tomorrow, we'll leave the farms behind and join the men building the greatest monuments the ancient world has ever seen. The sun rises once again over ancient Egypt, but today you're not heading to the fields. Today you're heading to one of the largest construction projects in human history. The pharaoh has ordered a monument unlike anything the world has ever seen, a pyramid. A mountain of stone designed to outlive kingdoms, dynasties, and perhaps even memory itself. As you approach the construction site, the scale is overwhelming. Thousands of workers move across the desert. Stone blocks stretch as far as the eye can see. Dust hangs in the air. Foremen shout instructions. And somewhere beyond the chaos, architects are planning the next stage of a project that may take decades to complete. You are only one worker among thousands. But for the next few years, this pyramid will become your world. Before a pyramid can rise into the sky, stone must be torn from the earth. And that means the quarry. The work begins before sunrise. Teams of laborers gather around massive limestone outcrops. Copper chisels strike stone. Wooden mallets pound relentlessly. The sound echoes across the desert. Hour after hour, day after day, small cracks become larger ones. Eventually, an enormous block breaks free. The ground trembles beneath your feet. The stone is heavy, far heavier than anything one person could ever move alone. And yet somehow it must travel miles across the Egyptian landscape. The pyramid demands more stone. It always demands more. Now comes the truly difficult part. Transportation. Each stone block weighs several tons. There are no trucks, no cranes, no engines, only human strength. Teams of workers pull giant wooden sledges across specially prepared paths. Others pour water onto the sand ahead, a simple trick that reduces friction and makes the impossible slightly less impossible. Still, progress is painfully slow. Every step requires effort. Every movement demands coordination. One mistake can crush a worker instantly. The desert sun watches silently as hundreds of men strain against ropes. Their muscles burn, their feet bleed, and the stones continue their slow journey toward immortality. Despite what many people imagine, pyramid builders are not chained slaves. Most are skilled laborers, farmers working during the Nile flood season, stone cutters, engineers, craftsmen, bakers, doctors. Entire communities grow around the construction site. You live in a crowded workers' village. Simple mud brick houses line dusty streets. Fresh bread is baked daily. Beer is distributed regularly. Medical care, primitive but surprisingly organized, is available for injuries. Archaeologists, thousands of years in the future, will discover evidence of healed fractures and treated wounds, proof that workers were valuable, because replacing skilled labor wasn't easy. Every person here plays a role in building eternity. Month after month, year after year, the pyramid grows. Each new layer rises higher than the last. Standing near its base feels strange. The structure seems alive, a stone mountain slowly emerging from the desert floor. As construction advances, the work becomes more dangerous. Ramps stretch upward. Workers haul stones hundreds of feet into the air. The higher you climb, the stronger the wind becomes. The farther you fall, one misplaced step can end a life instantly. Yet construction never stops, because the pharaoh expects perfection, and perfection is expensive. To you, the pyramid is exhausting labor. To the pharaoh, it is something much greater. Ancient Egyptians believed their ruler is chosen by the gods, a bridge between heaven and earth. When the pharaoh dies, his soul must journey into the afterlife. The pyramid is part tomb, part gateway, part eternal symbol of divine authority. Every stone serves a sacred purpose. Every measurement follows cosmic order. Priests perform rituals. Architects consult celestial alignments. The entire project is designed not merely to impress the living, but to guide a king toward eternity, and perhaps secure the future of Egypt itself. The desert grows quiet. Stars emerge one by one above the pyramid. The workers return home. The priests finish their prayers. The pharaoh sleeps in luxury, and you rest your aching body beneath a sky filled with ancient constellations. Tomorrow, Egypt will continue. The Nile will flow, the sun will rise, and somewhere beyond the horizon, another mystery waits, because while pyramids may help a king reach eternity, the living still need protection from illness, injury, and death. And unfortunately for you, ancient Egyptian medicine is about to become your next problem. Next episode, Ancient Egyptian Medicine. Why getting sick was terrifying. You walk carefully toward the local healer. The healer is known throughout the village. People come seeking remedies for headaches, broken bones, stomach pain, and mysterious illnesses. Unlike many ancient civilizations, Egyptian healers keep written records. Generations of medical knowledge have been passed down through papyrus scrolls. These scrolls contain hundreds of treatments and observations, some surprisingly effective, others rather unusual. The healer welcomes you inside. The room smells of herbs, oils, and incense. Clay jars line the walls. Bundles of dried plants hang from wooden beams. The healer asks questions about your symptoms. How long have you felt pain? Where does it hurt? What have you eaten recently? To modern ears, it sounds surprisingly familiar. Observation and diagnosis are important parts of Egyptian medicine. The healer examines your hand. A small wound has become swollen. Carefully, they clean the area. Then they apply a mixture containing honey. This may seem simple, But honey possesses natural antibacterial properties. Thousands of years later, scientists would discover that this treatment was actually quite effective. Without understanding germs, the Egyptians sometimes stumbled upon remedies that genuinely worked. Medicine in ancient Egypt blends science and spirituality. A healer may prescribe herbs, but they may also recite prayers. Illness is often believed to have both physical and supernatural causes. Many people wear protective amulets, small charms shaped like gods or sacred symbols. They believe these objects can ward off evil spirits and disease. For headaches, healers use herbal mixtures. For stomach troubles, they prescribe combinations of figs, dates, and plants gathered along the Nile. For broken bones, splints are carefully applied. Archaeologists have discovered skeletons showing evidence of successfully healed fractures. Proof that Egyptian doctors understood basic orthopedic treatment. Some physicians become specialists. One focuses on eyes, another on teeth. Others treat internal illnesses. This level of specialization is remarkably advanced for the ancient world. In fact, some Greek visitors later admire Egyptian medical knowledge. Word of Egyptian doctors spreads far beyond the Nile. As evening approaches, your treatment is complete. The swelling in your hand begins to improve. The healer offers final advice. Rest. Eat nourishing food. Avoid unnecessary labor for a few days. Simple instructions, yet timeless ones. Across thousands of years, some medical wisdom never changes. The sun slowly disappears beyond the horizon. The Nile reflects the last orange rays of daylight. The village grows quiet. Families gather for evening meals. Oil lamps flicker gently inside mud brick homes. And somewhere nearby, healers continue preserving knowledge that will survive for millennia. Knowledge written upon fragile papyrus. Knowledge that offers a fascinating glimpse into the origins of medicine itself. As the stars emerge over ancient Egypt, you allow your eyes to grow heavy, your breathing to slow, and your thoughts to drift peacefully down the timeless waters of the Nile. Tonight you will experience a side of ancient Egypt that most people rarely think about. Not the pyramids, not the pharaohs, not the temples shining beneath the desert sun. Instead, you will discover what happened when someone broke the law. Because even in one of history's greatest civilizations, crime existed. And where there is crime, there must also be punishment. Close your eyes, take a slow breath, and imagine yourself walking through an Egyptian village more than 3,000 years ago. The morning market is already busy. Farmers display baskets of vegetables. Fishermen arrange their fresh catch. Merchants carefully watch their goods. In a world where many people own very little, every possession matters. A missing tool, a stolen loaf of bread, a lost animal, any of these could create serious problems. And so, laws help maintain order. Most Egyptians live honest lives. They work hard, pay taxes, respect local customs. But occasionally, someone breaks the rules. Perhaps a worker steals supplies from a construction site. Maybe a merchant cheats customers. Or a farmer secretly moves a boundary stone to claim more land. Small crimes can quickly become serious disputes. When problems arise, local officials investigate. Witnesses are questioned. Evidence is gathered. Statements are written down by scribes. Ancient Egypt values record-keeping. Many legal decisions are carefully documented on papyrus. These records help officials determine what truly happened. You find yourself standing before a local court. The judge listens quietly. There are no dramatic speeches, no television cameras, no lawyers presenting complicated arguments. Instead, community members describe what they witnessed. The goal is simple: discover the truth, restore order, and maintain harmony. Ancient Egyptians believed deeply in a concept called Ma'at. Ma'at represents truth, balance, justice, and cosmic order. Keeping Ma'at intact is considered essential for society. When someone commits a crime, they are not only harming another person, They are disturbing the balance of the world itself. Punishments vary depending on the offense. Minor crimes may result in fines, extra labor, or repayment of stolen goods. More serious crimes receive harsher penalties. Officials want punishments to discourage future wrongdoing. Most people hope never to face such consequences. Fortunately, violent crime is relatively uncommon in many communities. Most disputes involve property, taxes, trade disagreements, or conflicts between neighbors. People rely heavily on cooperation. After all, life beside the Nile depends on working together. As the day comes to an end, the court's work is finished. Decisions have been made, disputes settled, records safely stored. The village slowly returns to normal. Children play near their homes. Families prepare evening meals. Merchants close their stalls. Life continues, just as it has for generations. Night falls across the Nile Valley. The stars begin appearing above the desert. The world grows quiet, and somewhere in the darkness, scribes carefully preserve records of the day's events, records that will survive for thousands of years. Allow your breathing to slow. Feel the cool evening air. Listen to the gentle sounds of the Nile, and drift peacefully into sleep beneath the same stars that watched over ancient Egypt long ago. Tonight, you will step into the spiritual heart of ancient Egypt, a world where gods watched over every aspect of life, where massive temples rose above cities, where priests carried out sacred rituals, and where one man stood between the people and the divine, the Pharaoh. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath. Imagine yourself living along the Nile more than 3,000 years ago. The first rays of sunlight are beginning to illuminate the horizon. The day is about to begin, and so are the sacred duties of an entire kingdom. The people of Egypt believe their world is protected by powerful gods. Every flood of the Nile, every harvest, every sunrise, every star in the night sky, all are connected to divine forces. The gods are everywhere. Their images decorate homes, temples, boats, and monuments. To the Egyptians, religion is not separate from daily life. It is daily life. Among all people in Egypt, none is considered more important than the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh is not merely a king. He is believed to be chosen by the gods, a living connection between heaven and earth. His responsibilities extend far beyond politics. He must preserve harmony, protect Egypt, and ensure the favor of the gods continues. As you walk through the capital city, you notice statues of the Pharaoh everywhere. Towering monuments rise above crowded streets. Massive stone carvings display scenes of victories, ceremonies, and offerings to the gods. Every image reinforces a powerful message. The Pharaoh maintains order. The Pharaoh protects Egypt. The Pharaoh serves the gods. Nearby stands one of Egypt's great temples. Its enormous stone columns stretch toward the sky. Colorful carvings cover every wall. Sacred symbols tell stories of gods, kings, and creation itself. The temple feels calm, ancient, timeless, a place where the earthly and divine worlds meet. Inside the temple, priests begin their daily rituals. They wash carefully, dress in clean white linen, burn fragrant incense, and present offerings to the gods: bread, fruit, flowers, and precious oils. These rituals are performed every day without fail, for maintaining divine favor is considered essential for Egypt's survival. One of the most important gods is Ra, the sun god. Each morning, Egyptians believe Ra travels across the sky in a celestial boat. Each night, he journeys through the underworld, battling darkness before returning once again with the dawn. Every sunrise becomes a symbol of victory, a reminder that order has defeated chaos. Another beloved figure is Osiris, god of the afterlife, lord of resurrection and eternal life. His story gives comfort to millions of Egyptians. because it promises that death is not the end. Instead, it is the beginning of another journey, a journey beyond the earthly world. As evening approaches, temple musicians begin to play. Soft drums echo through the halls, harps create gentle melodies, priests chant sacred hymns. The setting sun paints the temple walls with warm shades of gold and orange. The kingdom prepares for another night beneath the protection of the gods. The stars slowly appear overhead. The Nile reflects the moonlight. Villages grow quiet. Temples stand watch beneath the night sky. And across Egypt, millions of people place their trust in the gods, the priests, and the pharaoh who connects both worlds. Take a slow breath. Feel the cool desert air. Listen to the distant sounds of the Nile, and allow yourself to drift peacefully into sleep beneath the same stars that shone over ancient Egypt thousands of years ago. Tonight, we journey into one of the most fascinating and mysterious parts of ancient Egyptian life, a subject that may sound frightening at first, but to the Egyptians, it was filled with hope, because they believed death was not the end. It was simply the beginning of another journey, a journey into eternity. Close your eyes. Take a slow, comfortable breath. Imagine yourself living beside the Nile River more than 3,000 years ago. The sun is setting. Golden light stretches across the water, and the people around you are preparing for one of life's most important transitions.